If you've been feeling dissatisfied, frustrated with any part of your life, then you need a new beginning. A new beginning in at least that area, right? So, because life isn't supposed to be where you wake up and you feel dissatisfied to the point of irritation, frustration, or worse, maybe you're so dissatisfied that you become bored or apathetic because that's really, just that you've given up, that you don't think something else is possible. Are you suffering from any of that? Is there some area of your life that you feel like you'd like it to be better? Maybe it's your relationship. Maybe it doesn't have the romance you desire. Or maybe it's your job. You're not making the amount of money, or you feel like you deserve another promotion. You know, whatever area of it is of your life that you feel dissatisfied with. And the way you know you're dissatisfied is maybe like bored or apathetic. You maybe you're frustrated. Maybe you're not happy. Like you go to it, you don't really feel good about going to it. So whatever that area it is, if you have some dissatisfaction, you want to know that you need a new beginning in that area. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'm Deepa Lou, and I call myself the creative mystic because I want you to create, or I want to create for you, a spiritual divine experience that transforms you and helps you develop your spiritual gifts, grow spiritually, and manifest your true heart's desires. And today, I'm going to be focusing on divine wisdom by sharing with you what exactly is a new beginning, where a new beginning starts, intuitive guidance from one of my spirit guide portals, because you're going to find it here as I share with you a little bit about why it's so important. Because if you're wanting that new beginning, we have to help you with doing it differently, okay? And also for any of you who come on live and are here after I share with you the spirit guides guidance, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask a question. Okay. So, what exactly is a new beginning? For most people, it means a fresh start, an opportunity to redefine maybe where you are or where you're going. Um, but often people look at it as something that's an external change. Like, oh, I'm going to go get a new job because I don't like my job. Or a new relationship. People leave relationships because they feel like it's not serving them or it's holding them back. Or move to a new place. You ever done those things where you've moved to a new place, maybe gotten a new relationship, maybe gotten a new job, and at first it felt great, but then it still felt like something was missing, or kind of got back to the same doldrum later? Well, um, if you want to have a true beginning, a true new beginning that's transformative, that gives a transformative effect in your life and in your own self, it must start from a spiritual perspective. It has to start from inwardly. It has to start and be an inward change, because all that you create, if you believe you're a creator of your reality, it starts with your consciousness, your inward consciousness. So, what exactly is consciousness? It's a word that gets thrown around a lot, and I don't know if people really understand what it is. But consciousness is all about your thinking, your feelings, your emotions, what you're doing, what your habits are, how you feel, whether you feel expansive or contractive. Because if you don't feel like there's possibility, then your consciousness is at a lower state than if you feel impossibility. And some of you might have heard of like the different levels of emotions, and you manifest faster or differently depending on the kind of emotion you're having. So that's one specific way of looking at consciousness, but it's everything from your paradigms of beliefs to what you're thinking a lot and what you're saying, but a lot of what's going on in your head when you're not maybe even totally aware of it. That consciousness is manifesting. And so, how do we actually help you shift that? And it starts with the inner acknowledgement that you are dissatisfied with something in your life. Say you can, so that you can actually change something about it. See, because you can't change anything until you acknowledge that there's something that's not working. Now, when I talk to you about acknowledging that something's not working, or that there's an area of your life that you really wish you had a new beginning, something was different than what you have now, that doesn't mean complain about it. That doesn't mean to go complain about your relationship, oh, blah, blah, or your job. I hate my job. It's not about complaining. It's about acknowledging that the job you have isn't working for you. You're not liking the work, or you're not liking the pay, whatever it is, and that you're having an intention that I'm going for a different result. Okay? So that's the difference between acknowledgement and complaining. Complaining means you just talk about it and complain to somebody else about what's wrong, instead of acknowledging and saying, this amount of pay I'm getting is not working for me at this job, or this relationship. This person has clearly communicated to me they're not willing to do the things to make our relationship better. So I realize that I need to do something different and make a change inwardly in me. And maybe sometimes once that inward change is shifted, you make an outward change. But it's about making that acknowledgement and intention that I want a different result, and I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to do something first inwardly by one, just acknowledge it. Okay. So, but here's the biggest problem that prevents you from being able to create something different. Okay. Is that to do something better and different that's going to create a different result, you have to have a higher level of consciousness, a different consciousness than what you have presently that created what you have now. Okay. And so that can be difficult if you've been thinking a certain way for a long period of time. So if you've been stuck in a job, I'm going to use that one for as an example of a job that you don't really like, that you stay there just for the money. Okay. Now, and you stay there because you don't believe you can get a better job, or that there's a better one out there, or that you even have the skill sets to earn more money. Okay. And you stayed in that job because of that consciousness, those beliefs that keep you there, and then the habit and the inertia of staying there all keep you there. So what's been happening while you have that belief and staying in that job that you don't like, or the relationship that you don't like, okay, is neural pathways have been firing in that direction in your brain, saying that it's not possible. It's not possible. There's no jobs out there. It could be you're too old to get that higher paying job, or there's age discrimination, whatever it is that you're saying in your thoughts, your beliefs that show your beliefs. Those neural pathways keep firing in those directions. And then on top of that, if the neural pathways firing in those directions in that pathway, it also can get stuck in your body. So if you've had any amount of strong emotion, like frustration with that job that you don't like, that frustration can get stuck in your body. And that energy that's stuck in your body, and then those neural pathways firing in that certain pattern, keep you stuck at that consciousness. And so then it's really hard to have a new beginning when you keep looking at it from that perspective. So you need to do what? What do you need to do? You need to seek help. Okay. Now, where do you get that help? See, because what most people do is you have to look for help, but you don't want to get help from someone who has the same consciousness that you have. So if you've been complaining to your coworker or somebody else, you don't want to go ask them, or your spouse, if they're at a job that they don't like, you don't want to ask them because they have the same consciousness where you're stuck, okay, of believing that's the job they have to do. Now, this goes across the board of whether it's relationship, job, okay, whatever it is that might not be working for you. Okay. I'm just using this one as an example. Okay. Now, so where do you seek help? Because what you're seeking is you want a answer, a solution from a higher perspective, a higher consciousness. Because by the law of polarity, when there's a problem, there has to be a solution. It's just that you can't see the solution yet. And so what you want to do, and what I do, see, because it's one of the things I do, is I work with my spirit guides, is you want to go and ask spirit. And the way I do it is I ask my spirit guides. The best place to ask is coming from higher consciousness. And the spirit guides that are around you all the time are higher consciousness. They're a part of spirit, God. And so they're going to come from a place that maybe you can't see. It's one of the things I do in my coaching, my spiritual mentoring coaching programs are done with my spirit guide portals. They come in and drop in and give higher consciousness to the challenges that you may be having. So when you're looking to get a new beginning, you want to get from a higher consciousness. So what I did, because I wanted to find out, okay, I asked my spirit guide, what was I to do in this live? And they said to talk about a new beginning, because this new year is coming, right? The end of this year of 2024 is coming to an end pretty soon here. okay? And then it's going to be 2025. And a lot of people do New Year's resolutions. Some people give up and don't do them because they feel like it doesn't do any good. But you really want to look at that when one energy is closing, what's the next one coming with? Okay. So in 2024, it's if you don't know anything about numerology, it was a number 8 year, and that has a totally different energy than in 2025, which is a 9 year. Okay. And so I asked my spirit guide portals who wants to come forth and give an intuitive guidance, intuitive message to help you who is watching this video or here live, which ever you see it, to help you with your new beginning. How do you actually start to have a new beginning that's going to be transformative, where whatever area of your life you're unhappy with, you can now be happy with, you can now feel successful in. So, like I said, whether it's a relationship, a job, whatever you're wanting, maybe it's spiritual growth, maybe you feel stagnant in your spiritual practice, you want to be able to look at what that new beginning is. So I'm going to share from my own example. Like for me, I've been doing my YouTube channel now for a little while, and I call myself the Creative Mystic. And I really focus a lot on the mysticism side of giving you divine wisdom that I'm teaching, on maybe giving some meditations, doing my best to create divine experiences through this medium of video. And it's been a learning process of it. But as the process has gone on, I've realized that I've kind of let go of the creative side. Okay. That creative side, the reason why I call myself the Creative Mystic is because I'm also a sacred artist. I create these spirit guide portals that come to me in visions. And so I realized, like, one of the new beginnings I want to bring into this 2025 year in my YouTube channel and more clearly into my business is bringing in the creative artist side. Okay. And so if you're creative, if you're an artist and a mystic, you're seeking you're a spiritual seeker who's looking for direct experiences, divine experiences themselves, you're a mystic, okay? And if you're creative, you like doing anything creative, whether it's writing, painting, um, you're a singer, a musician, maybe you're even a woodworker. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're creative, then and you're spiritual, then you're a creative mystic, okay? So one of the things, the new beginnings I want to bring into like my channel in the next coming year is bring in more of the creative part into it, combining it with the spiritual. Because what brought me my spiritual gift of being able to see spirit guides, be able to create them into portals, and portals are basically doorways to help you connect with that spiritual energy, was me using my creativity, me beginning to be a painter and bringing that forth. So I want to that's my new beginning I want to bring in, okay? So we're going to talk with, this is Mother of Forgiveness, and I'm going to take this off here of this little banner here just so you guys can see her better. Um, and if anybody wants to announce themselves, feel free to if you're on live. So Um, oh, Sandra, hello. I'm glad that you announced yourself. So, Mother of Forgiveness volunteered to give intuitive guidance about this new beginning. And I was like, huh, interesting. Mother of Forgiveness. I wonder why, she's volunteering. Now, I never question when the spirit guide comes forth. I just go, interesting, because my little logical mind can kick in. And I kind of go, I wonder what forgiveness has to do with starting a new beginning. And then I went and looked up the 2025 in numerology, and it's a 9 year, and it's all about like having closure and ending. I think I wrote down, where did I put it? I don't know where I wrote it down. Of what it meant. But anyway, it was about closure and completion of one energy to the next. So if you've done something like you've been working on new and it goes into 2025, it's talking about you really want to complete it. And then I went, oh, Mother Forgiveness started giving me a little download. And we're going to get into the whole message here in a minute about forgiveness and how it's important, the energy of forgiving and in being able to let go and complete something. Okay. Cause I was just like, oh, that makes sense when she started to give me that download. But it didn't at first. I was like, what's the message that she's, giving with this? So I'm going to tune into Mother of Forgiveness, and I'm going to give you the guidance that she has to help you have a new beginning. Because like I said, if you're having a challenge with any area of your life, that means you need a new beginning. So whether that area is a relationship, business, a job, something that you just don't feel that satisfied with, it means you need a new beginning. Okay. So let's check in with Mother Forgiveness. So I'm going to ring this bell because I'm going to have us just check in. And one of the things that I learned when I went to India years ago was in India, they have this tradition of ringing a bell, like saying, "Hello, God," inviting God into their home. And so I'm going to ring this bell to invite in Mother of Forgiveness so that we can bring the guidance that she's going to give you. Now, if anybody's going to be live at the end of this message, I'm going to open it up if you want to ask a question. So for free, when I finish off the guidance that I'm giving to anybody who watches this now or in the replay, what Mother of Forgiveness has to say about new beginnings in this new year of 2025, because you want to start to see how are you going to embrace this new year. Okay, so let's just take a moment and I'm going to ring the bell, invoking Mother of Forgiveness. And I'm going to start with the prayer, invoking Mother Forgiveness energies in. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Great Spirit of the Universe, and specifically Holy Mary, Mother of Forgiveness, who so graciously volunteered to be here and give this guidance to help all who hear this recording, to all who hear this message, to help them with their new beginning of whatever it is that they are wanting to transform. We ask that our hearts and minds be open and receptive to all the guidance and all the blessings. And we especially ask that all that hear your message are willing to receive the guidance, willing to receive the message, willing to receive the blessings of Mother of Forgiveness. Om. Peace. Amen. So Mother of Forgiveness is coming in and she says the reason she came forth to give this guidance today is because when you are moving from into this energy of 2025, you want to actually prepare. And in the preparation that allows you to let go and embrace a new beginning, embrace what new thing you want to bring into your life, you have to forgive. And she says, most importantly, you want to forgive yourself for maybe staying in a job you don't like or staying in a relationship that maybe is not working for you. Especially, she's saying if it's abusive. I don't know why she's saying that, but somebody maybe who's going to listen to this is going to need to hear that. But she's saying that to practice the energy of forgiveness, because even if that person or somebody or your boss or did something that was hurtful, harmful, maybe they betrayed you, she's saying that when you hang on to that, the only person you're harming is yourself, because that energy continues to guide where you are. And it's a contractive, downward pulling energy when you don't forgive. And so she's saying how you really want to forgive. And if you can, forget. And when she means like forget, she knows like it's not going to be erased from your memory. But she's saying like forget that it was so hurtful. Like when you really truly forgive, that you understand that that person did it because of their own emotional wounds that they have, their own fears that they have, and it's not done 99% of the time maliciously. It's done because they themselves are afraid. And she wants you to see that when have you done something that you haven't been necessarily the most proud of it because you were afraid, because something pushed an emotional button that triggered you. And she's saying, like, you know how that is when somebody says something or does something and you react back and you snap back because, and you're not really necessarily proud of the fact that you snap back, right? But you couldn't stop yourself because of it. And so she's saying to have that empathy in that forgiveness for anybody else that has done something to you. Now she's saying, the most important forgiveness so that you can move forward is to forgive yourself. See, because she's saying she wants you to understand that every time you've stopped yourself or you've had fear or that you haven't moved forward on something that's true, it's because you have an emotional wound. You're having fear, and she wants you to practice compassion. And so instead of like having that beat yourself up voice of like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you get going, move forward? Why don't you make change, get out of this job you don't like or this relationship you don't like? She's encouraging you to forgive yourself and accept that what you've done so far has been done because you were having a coping mechanism come up. Because coping mechanisms are what you do when you're a little kid and you don't have any power to actually change the situation. And what happens, she's saying, is that we take those coping mechanisms into our adulthood and continue to do them unless you're really aware. And so the first forgiveness, she's saying, when you want to have a new beginning, is to forgive yourself, to really embrace that, oh, I deserve compassion and empathy for all the things I've done in the past. And I'm gonna forgive myself knowing that I did it to cope with what was going on, to cope, and I didn't know it was a coping mechanism, but it was to cope with something that made me uncomfortable, fearful, scared to move forward, okay? And that's okay. And she's saying to forgive yourself and forgive the habits that you have that you've been doing for many years that haven't been serving you. And so she wants you to actually do that. She's asking if you really want to get ready for this new beginning and for the new year and to change some area of your life, for you to actually journal some, be with yourself, have some self reflection about what area, what habit have you been having that hasn't been serving you? Where have you been beating yourself up inwardly or outwardly? Uh, Saying harsh words like, "What's wrong with you? Why don't you do this?" Blah, 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 whatever it is. She's wanting you to acknowledge that and allow it to go away. Sandra, I'm so glad this is helpful for you. So she's really encouraging, whoever hears this, and Sandra, since it's speaking to you, yeah, you'd want to go and get out a journal, sit with yourself and go, where are those areas? And forgive yourself. And she's saying you can work with her. You can come in to this video and do a little prayer and see her image and say, Mother, forgiveness, I'm asking for your grace to help me to forgive and to forgive that repetitive thoughts that have gone through of beating yourself up, to forgive the trauma of the energy that's stuck in your body. And by forgiving, what happens is you let it go. See, because by forgiveness really heals you, not anybody else. And so now, if there's another person to forgive, she wants you to do that too. Okay. If there's a person that you felt has harmed you, she wants you to actually acknowledge what it was that they did that really harmed you. If you felt betrayed, say it. But say, I'm offering that betrayal, that whatever they harmed, up to Mother Forgiveness to give you the grace to find in your heart to forgive that other person. Because she's saying that in order to welcome in this new year of 2025, we want to prepare. The reason why she says most people don't do their resolutions is because they think, oh, and they try to do them on, December 31st or January 1st or January 2nd. And they're not really actually ready for that new energy, because the new energy of 2025 is about completion. And the completion that Mother Forgiveness is guiding you to give is all about forgiveness of what isn't working. Okay. And so she's asking you to be willing to do that. And so she's just asking you right now to say to yourself, I'm committing, I'm making that intention, because one of the things, remember the first thing I said earlier was you have to acknowledge what area of your life isn't working for you, whatever that is, whether it's relationship, job, spiritual path, friend, something, whatever you have that's not working for you, you have to acknowledge that it's not working, not complain, but acknowledge and then make that intention of and commitment that I'm going to do something different. because it's in that energy that will prepare you for the new year that's coming in 2025. Okay. And so you want to get clear on what is it that you actually desire to bring in that area of your life that you're unhappy with. So I was using an example earlier about if you're unhappy with your job, maybe it's about what do I get clear on about what is it that I'm unhappy about? What do I really want in a job? Or maybe you've been wanting to leave your job and go do your own business, or you have a purpose you've been wanting to do that you haven't been acting on. What do you need to complete in this coming year so that you can start to act on it? See, so to embrace the energies of this 2025. Now, that doesn't mean you can't start something new in 2025 because you don't want to be tied to the what energies are there, but you want to actually embrace them of what needs to happen next so that you can go into the next level. Okay. So if let's just say you have been having this purpose that's been kind of niggling at you that you've wanted to do and you haven't done, or you just know like, I have a purpose I want to do, but I'm not clear on what it is, that maybe you complete what the forgiveness practice so that you can then be ready and start to allow the energies of what's new to come in. Okay. So I'm going to check back in with Mother Forgiveness to see does she have something else to say. So she's saying about forgiveness with the forgiveness of this year into the next, that each time when the new year is coming, that you want to like forgive in the sense of let go of whatever happened in 2024. So if something happened that you weren't happy with, to just let it go. See, forgiveness is all about letting go. And so it's about how do I let go of 2024? Maybe it's you need even she's saying you may even need to let go of 2023, 2022, 2021 because maybe there was something that happened, whatever it is that's in your past. Forgive that past and let it go. Because by opening and letting go, by forgiving and letting go, you now create space for the new thing to come, the new beginning to come. And so she's saying that you need to even let go of maybe things in your home. If you have things that have been sitting around for years that you never use, she's saying, let them go. Clear your space because forgiveness is about that too, about going, you know what? Maybe I bought this thing and I've never used it, and I'm gonna forgive myself for because maybe you're thinking I'm wasting money on buying this and I haven't used it. Or maybe you signed up for a training that you never completed. She's saying, for all those little things, forgive yourself. Because if you've spent money on something and you haven't done it, that could be freezing you from spending money again for that next level of where you wanna grow. So, because one of the things you need to do when you wanna grow and step into that next level of spiritual growth or into that purpose you want to manifest or that new job or better relationship is you have to actually embrace the new energy. You have to make space for it. If you try to keep your old job and get a new job, it's stressful, right? Now, that doesn't mean you have to quit beforehand, but it is more work, right? Well, if you're trying to start a business and you still have your old job, it's hard to do. So, but I'm giving you physical examples, but she's saying energetically, if you hang on to something, it's very difficult to embrace the new. And so you want to forgive whatever you've been hanging on to, whether it's physical things outwardly or emotional things inwardly, because that new beginning starts with you. Okay. So that's what she has to share. So, anybody who's live, if you want to put a question in the chat, Mother Forgiveness wanted me to give people the opportunity to actually ask your own question if you have something about a new beginning that you're trying to start, that you would like some intuitive guidance from Mother Forgiveness. Feel free to put it in the comment, and I'll check in with Mother Forgiveness and give you an answer. So I'll give you a minute or so to type something in if somebody has something. So as I'm letting people have a few minutes to type something in, one of the things that I want to let people know is if you're somebody who um, has been wanting to manifest a purpose or looking for help to grow spiritually and actually apply the spiritual laws so that you can transform your life, feel free to take advantage of my next step connection call. It's a complimentary next step connection call to see if you're fit for coaching. Feel free to go ahead and take advantage of that. I'm going to actually put that up real quick just so you can do it. And there it is right there. You go to deepaloo.com/gift, and that would be something that you can do if you're interested in that. And also, if you are interested in maybe getting involved in a spiritual community that I'm going to be creating and launching 2025, and you feel like you'd like to get on my waiting list for that, feel free to do that too. So I'm going to put up that link here in a minute and just let you look at that for a moment too. So this one is deepaloo.com/membership waiting list. So if you're looking for that, I'd love to see you there. Um, I haven't seen any comments, so I'm assuming no one has a question that they want to ask for intuitive guidance on. If you are typing something and it's extensive, please just put a quick comment through real quick, just saying, I am working on something, because I haven't seen anything come through, even though there's a few people on here. So I'll give it another minute or two. But thank you to everybody who's been watching. And and if anybody's wanting their own spirit guide portal, feel free to check out my website, deepaloo.com. I have G clays, which are reproductions of the spirit guide portals. I don't have it completely updated. So if you like Mother of Forgiveness and you want reproduction of her, you'd have to email me directly because I don't have her up there yet. She's one of my more recent ones that I've completed. And feel free to do that too. Ah, Sandra Beckman, how do you forgive people you dislike? Well, I'm going to let Mother Forgiveness answer that and see what she has to say. But I also have my own feedback if for you too. But she may even give you that. Let's check in with her. Thank you for the question. So let me check in with you. So Mother Forgiveness is saying that that if you want to forgive someone that you don't like, that you have to forgive them for what you don't like about them. See, what she means by that is, like, maybe you don't like them because they're arrogant, or maybe you don't like them because they're rude, or maybe you don't like them because they're pushy, that she's saying to actually forgive them for that personality trait, whatever it is that you don't like. And she's saying that on top of forgiving them for that personality trait that you don't like, she's saying that anytime there's someone that you dislike, she's saying to actually send them blessings of love and light, because that love and light blesses not only them, but blesses you. And she says, by doing and sending them blessings of love and light, you bless yourself because there really is no them. And the fact that then you're sending blessings to them, and you may find that in the future, you might find some qualities about them that you do like. So is that making sense, Sandra? And if not, feel free to jot something else in there and I'll make it more clear for you. One of the things she's dropping in my head too, at the same time, is she's saying that when you're on the spiritual path, one of the things you want to understand that likes and dislikes are the biggest um, block to our spiritual growth, and that often the very thing we dislike is the very thing that's going to help us grow spiritually. Now, she's not saying stay in a job you don't like, or do something that you hate, but she's saying that at the level of like, I don't like them, or uh, if you really ask yourself, what is it that you don't like about them? She's saying often they have a personality trait that it is you're not liking. It's not because they've actually done something to you. And so she's saying that she wants you to, really challenge yourself on those likes and dislikes, and send that love whenever it's to somebody that you're not liking. All right, Sandra, was that helpful? Oh, good. All right, Sandra. So I don't know if there's any. I'm going to give it another minute since we had one question. If there's any question from anybody else, please put it in the comments, and I will ask Mother of Forgiveness of her guidance. And also to let everybody know who's going to watch us in the recording or is here live that in January I'm going to be doing some more lives. I haven't gotten clear exactly what the theme is going to be, but I've been getting it's more along this lines with this new energy that's coming in. You're welcome, Sandra. Thank you for participating. It's great to have someone ask a question. So I think I'm going to be doing from what I've been getting from my own spirit guides is maybe doing some more intuitive guidance from my spirit guides to actually ask questions, and I'll probably even actually have a theme for that next month. So all right. Well, it doesn't look like there's any more questions. I want to thank everybody so much. It's such an honor and privilege to be able to get to do these lives and these blessings of messages from the spirit guides. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Blessings.